Alright, Bismillah. Alright, so far we've learned about actually 2 out of the 5 fragments. Right? We said fragments are phrases which are incomplete sentences. We've learned about 2 out of the 5. The first one was mudaf mudaf ilay, and the second one was harfu jar, right? Or jar majrur. So now we're going to learn about the third one, which is a descriptive fragment, and it's known as mawsuf sifa. So a descriptive fragment in Arabic is made up of 2 parts. The first is a word being described, right? So first you'll see the word being described, and the second is a word that's describing it, right? So the noun which is being described is known as the mawsuf, right? So we could have some words here such as kalbun, kitabun, sayyaratun, right? Any of these words can serve as the mawsuf, pretty much any noun. And then we have afterwards sifa, right? Adjectives. That's the description of a noun. So words such as jayyid, meaning good, saghir, meaning small, nadhifun, meaning clean, or like kabirun, meaning big, or ghaniyun, meaning rich, right? These words that describe a noun. So how do you identify a description fragment? First of all, you're going to have to notice that the mawsuf, right, the word being described, comes first. And then afterwards you'll find the adjective. This is opposite to English. It's more similar to French, right? So in English we have black car, while in Arabic it would be car black. Think of it as if you're listing the word that you're describing, and then underneath it you have all of its descriptions, right? So when you come across a word, and then afterwards you'll see all of its descriptions. And a word can have multiple descriptions, right? So the new black car. In Arabic it would be the car and then black and then new, right? Listed off. So here we can see a setup of a few examples. So we have al-kalbul jadidu, so the good dog, right? The dog, and then after its description, good. Kitaban saghiran, and just gonna add in some alifs here, because when we have two fathas on the end of a word, we add the alif after, just a tajweed rule. So kitaban saghiran, which means a small book, and then sayaratun nadhifatun, which means a clean car. So all 4 noun properties have to match in order to know that you have a mawsuf sifa. So if you look at this, we can tell that this word is indefinite because it has tanween. This word is indefinite because it has tanween. They're both masculine. There's no signs of femininity here. They're both singular. We don't have anything obstructing the middle, nor is there anything added onto the end of it, like an una, an ani, an ina, none of that. And finally, they both share the same status, which is nasb, and we can tell that because of the fathas on the end. So the 4 properties match, and because of that, we have mawsuf sifa. Same gender, same number. So let's look at an example here that Uzair gave me, because thanks Uzair. One thing to keep in mind is that you can have multiple sifa, multiple adjectives for one mawsuf. So alright, just adding this in. Adjectives. Okay. Good times with Arabic. There we go. Okay. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Here, the first word is Allah, right? Allah. And that's our mawsuf. He's the, in this case, the Lafz al-Jalal. In this case, the word Allah is being described, right? So this is the word that we're describing. So Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim are going to match in the 4 qualities. So in terms of gender, they're both masculine. In terms of definiteness, they're both definite. We can see the alif lam. We can see the alif lam. In terms of number, they're both singular. No una, ani, ina, none of that. And in terms of state, they're all in a state of jar. We can see that on the end with the kasras, right? So these 4 things match. So we know that they're going back to Allah. and they're describing him, right? In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, right? They're going back to Allah. Another thing to keep in mind about Mawsuf Sifa is that there can actually be words in the middle. They can tolerate what we would call a long distance relationship. In fact, you can have a mudaf mudaf ilay come right in the middle of a Mawsuf Sifa relationship. So check this out. Kalbu waladil kabiru, right? So the boy of the dog, right? That's our mudaf mudaf ilay. So if we look at al-kabiru, we would have to match up the four properties. So we know it doesn't link up with waladi because look at the endings, right? They're both in different states. They don't match. But if you look at the ending here, look at the ending here, they match. Look at the number, they match. They're singular, no ani, una, nothing. You look at the gender, they're both masculine. And then after, if you look at the definiteness, we know that this is definite, even though it doesn't have alif lam, because it's definite by association, right? A mudaf is definite by association. So this word over here is definite, because it has alif lam. So they match in the four properties. So we would translate this as the big dog of the boy, and not another way, like some people could mistranslate it if they attach kabir to here. It would be the dog of the big boy, which would be incorrect. Right? We know that the sifa is going back to this point here, which is the word that it's describing. And yeah, that's Mawsuf Sifa. We're going to do a lot of practice with Mawsuf Sifa just to get it down, because it can mess with your head. But if you know your four properties well, you'll be able to make the connections, inshallah ta'ala. And yeah, let's take a stab at it in the next video. Alright, assalamu alaikum.